Hi everyone, this is Lee and welcome, welcome, welcome. And I want to introduce to you, wrong way as it is, camera. I want to introduce Collie and an amazing colleague of mine. And she's from America. So say hello, Collie.
Oh, thank you so much, Lee. I'm so honored. Like, it's amazing to be here with you and to be here with your people that are following, watching, joining, whatever, wherever they are. Welcome. This is going to rock your world.
Absolutely, we're going to have a blast
We
today. So
are. We already are.
yeah, so we'll have a bit of a chat beforehand, but let me tell you a bit about the topic that we're going to talk about today first. So
Okay.
we're going to talk about manifesting, but we're also going to talk about some beliefs as an entrepreneur that you may have experienced. And Collie and I were chatting about this beforehand, and I went, "What a fantastic topic to bring on board!" So we're going to have a bit of a chat about that as an entrepreneur. Of maybe I don't know if you've ever experienced, but Collie and I were talking a little bit about when we first start our business, we have this, what do you say, the glass eyes, and we get excited, and at times we can be like, I suppose, presented false expectations. Don't you reckon, there, Collie?
Oh, absolutely. There is no such thing in my belief system. And
Mm.
the many people that I've worked with and the many people that I've trained with of a 24-hour overnight success.
Yeah, and I was chatting to Collie earlier that I was watching the news feed going through Facebook just recently, and there was an ad there talking about in 90 days you can go from $0 to $5 million if you follow their system. And to me, that's like waving a red flag to a bull, because it's so untrue. And reality, some people will believe that's true. And it's sad when you see, maybe new entrepreneurs who are not business savvy yet, and they're so excited about creating a business, and then they have these false expectations given in front of them, and then the issue is they find out that they can't do that unless perhaps you've already got an established business already. So you're not starting from zero. And then what happens is, as genuine, authentic coaches like myself and Collie, we have to go through the whole process of, you know, um, getting everyone to trust the authentic people out there as well. What are your thoughts on that, Collie?
Oh, I agree completely. As we were discussing before, it's not that you can't have expectations, but it's the false expectations. And the false expectations come from people that unfortunately don't have what I call heart-centered business in
Mm,
mind. They don't
mm,
have the ethics and they don't have the values of you in
mm,
mind.
mm.
And so consequently, it's kind of like taking advantage of people, which I'm so against, because then it really ruins for the person who's invested the time and the energy and the passion to getting their business off the ground. It starts to lower their feelings towards their passion, and they're confused, and then some people give up. And also too, it's very expensive for a lot of times
Mm.
that these programs are put in place of people with these grandiosities of overnight success, or 0 to 5 whatever million. So it's not that it can't be done, but it's got to be done in a way that it can be done.
Mm.
And
And,
that
and
and that includes belief systems. A lot of times the belief systems for the people that are coming on board to various programs like this, they're not in check, and they need to
mm,
be in order to maintain and keep full speed ahead.
mm. Absolutely. And it's not like, I mean, that would, if someone could do that and have no established business prior
Oh,
hand, they would have to have a lot of contacts already, a lot of
oh,
contacts that would actually become their joint venture partners, that would edify them, that would have lots of people following them as well. Because when you first start a business up, and even though you may have be 4 years or 5 years into your business, and you're gathering a lot of knowledge and you're attending a lot of courses and developing your skills, still takes time in business to have that maturity in your business, to have, that amount of people following you to actually create a $5 million business.
Absolutely. And to sustain it, right? To
Yeah,
sustain it.
absolutely.
So to sustain it is a huge task in itself. Absolutely. You'd have to have a lot, a
Yes.
lot of followers, and then not, to think one can do it all alone with that many followers, that's a false expectation as well, right?
And
So
and the other thing is too, a lot of people who are at that level, who are actually at a $5 million business level or whatever, if you notice, they invest a lot of money in advertising. And the way that you as a entrepreneur can notice that is when you go through your news feed in Facebook. If you see a post with the word sponsored under it, you know straight away that that entrepreneur is using paid advertising to actually get the reach. Because the biggest problem that a lot of entrepreneurs face to begin with is not about knowledge and their skill. It's about getting awareness and driving traffic to their lead magnets. Or a lead magnet is their free giveaways, like a free gift or something which they give to you in exchange for your contact details.
right,
So
exactly.
it's a big difference. So yeah, as I was saying, it's like it triggers me. It's like, oh my god, if I see this, it's almost I almost explode. I go red almost and go, oh my god, do people really believe that that's true if you're starting from zero?
I think, I do believe that people do believe that, and I think they want it's in some ways I liken it to people who buy a lot of lottery tickets,
Mm,
with the expectation that I'm going to be the one that out of all the millions of people that, I live in Canada and I know people that buy them every week and they've never won anything. And
mm,
that's okay. That's fine. There's a hope that they will.
mm,
But I think of all the people that do and all the people with that expectation that this is going to solve my life forever.
mm,
And without doing due diligence, especially in a business world that we're in, if you don't do due diligence and understand that it's not going to just be the win overnight, it will lead to so much. And it's a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful to be an entrepreneur and to be in this world of doing what we're doing and love what we do. It's wonderful, but it does take work.
yep.
And it just does. I mean, it just does. So it's not a lottery ticket.
Mm.
It's just not.
That's exactly right. Absolutely right. It's consistency. And this is why we want to go into today's topic, which is manifesting. This is why it's so important to be passionate about what you do, to have that driving and inspiration, and know deep in your heart that this is something that you're willing to work at, to have a good business. So having a good business, and it sometimes it means that you have to do tasks that you may not necessarily enjoy to begin with, until you can create the support team around you to actually outsource it and give it away.
Exactly. And that's the thing that comes in to mind with regards to various people that are, they're creative, but they're not business minded, or
Mm,
they're business minded and they're not creative. So
yeah,
in the beginning, it's not that you don't have and can't do both. It's just in the beginning, you have to do both. And
absolutely. When you first
yeah,
started, yeah.
but the thing, and as you mentioned it, the thing that keeps us going, for myself, and I know for you too, because I have known you for a while now and I followed you for a long time, it's passion.
Yep.
And so no matter what the day starts out like, it may not be the best day, we not be in the best mood, something might have gone on in the family, COVID strikes, I mean, we don't know, life happens as we're making plans, but
Mm,
it's still having that light within
mm,
that keeps us going.
absolutely.
And that is key. absolute key.
And keeping that and the way that you can do that obviously is surround yourself with other people who are, I call it my go-to people. So my
Absolutely.
go-to people are people who are not going to impose limiting beliefs onto me. They are my people who are going to uplift me. They're going to be my cheer squad. They're going to be my, keep going, Lee, because you know what, Collie, it doesn't matter how many years you've been in business, you will still at times doubt yourself.
Oh, for
But
sure.
but the experienced entrepreneurs who have a high level of self awareness, we actually can catch that really quickly and we are able to manage those doubts so they don't stop us because we recognize what's going on. So we're not making excuses and we're not justifying. We're taking ownership. We're owning our doubts and our own beliefs, our limiting beliefs, and we go, you know what? I know you're there, but you're not going to stop me. Don't you agree there,
Oh,
Colleen?
completely. All the years that I've taught at different institutions like the Vancouver Film School and Electronic Arts University, and I was teaching communication. It was mind body communication, and I used to say it. And forgive me if anybody is offended, but I used to call it the itty bitty shitty committee. That that it's the knitter natter pitter patter that sometimes is the loop de loop going on in our head, and I just go, okay, I know when it's there, and I catch it. And sometimes I move forward without catching it. And then when I do catch it, I go, okay,
Yeah,
breathe, breathe.
yeah,
And then literally tell my mind, we are not having this meeting today. We're not. There's no room. There's no room in the boardroom for this meeting. So, bye bye now. Maybe we'll take it up another day. But for now, I have other things to attend to. So we're not having this meeting.
yeah. So I think the expectation that some people may go, I'm going to get rid of self doubt. I'm never going to have it again. I think it's almost like saying I want to be happy forever, which we know that you can't. You can't be happy forever because life happens, stuff happens. But it's just really interesting to understand that it's not about removing your self doubt or removing
Mm-mm.
limiting beliefs. It's recognizing them. That's the point. Now, I want to move into a little bit now, Collie, into manifesting. You
Hmm.
know,
Sure.
so when you hear the word manifesting, um, what do if you were going to talk to me about that, what would you tell me about manifesting?
Oh, goodness. Good question. I definitely would tell you it's very possible and that we're and that we're doing it all the time anyway,
Yeah,
whether it is for good or not.
absolutely.
Because our mind is so powerful. The mind drives the body in dominant thought. And we create reality because thoughts permeate through substance and create reality. Whether we think it or not, it does. And we are so powerful that that's what we're doing all the time.
And we do it unconsciously as well as consciously.
Yes, very much so.
I think
Absolutely.
it's really us understanding our baby. I remember, I think it was in the not is it the 1900s or the late or the 2000, was it 21st century or whatever, at the beginning, where they had this thing come out called The Secret.
Hmm.
Did you actually, were you around that time where that was really, everyone was talking about The Secret
Oh,
and
Rhonda,
all of that?
yes, yes, Rhonda Burns actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know a lot of the people. When I created a TV pilot called "Owning the Zone of Excellence," and
Mm,
the people that I actually were going to have on the documentary were people like Bruce Lipton, Dan Millman, all these people that some of whom she interviewed and whatnot. So I was definitely around at the time, and I know very much. I've seen it. I've read the
mm.
book for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And it was a really good thing, a point that they talked about The Secret, because as we're talking about manifesting, you can manifest the negative as well as the positive, depending on
Absolutely.
where your thoughts were. And they were saying, thank God it takes time to manifest, because if you think about an elephant or something, it will just appear in your room or whatever. So to me, manifesting, all sports people do it all the time. They're
Yes.
trained to manifest. They actually see themselves winning the gold medal or the Olympics or whatever. Because if you notice that the sports people in the Olympics have just finished, you'd
Hmm.
probably notice that they all have psychology coaching as well as skill set coaching as well, because your mind is so important, because what you think will determine the results that you get, which comes
Absolutely.
from the self-fulfilling philosophy around, what we think we actually look for, and we create and we observe.
Hmm.
So and it reminds me of the power of manifesting, I suppose, for me when I was very young, because I had a very unemotional family dynamic. They really didn't. I suppose it wasn't the best environment that I was in when I was growing up. I mean, they cared for me, they provided food and everything else, but there was no emotional intelligence in my
Right.
family growing up. And I was quite an awkward child, and I loved horses. And for me to escape reality, because I was socially awkward, I would dream, and I would have the best dreams that you would ever believe of, Collie. I used to become a white stallion. I was a
Wow.
horse. I didn't see the stallion. I was the stallion, and I was so free. Like I had, my white mane down past my withers and everything else, and I was running free. But I always saw myself standing on top of a big hill at the end, and I was protecting my herd. So I was the protector, and it was just an amazing dream. So I used to dream so much that I didn't want to wake up. I wanted to dream all the time, because that was my escapism. That was, where
Hmm.
I could have joy and everything else as well. And then I moved to a property. Family moved to a property. I think I was about 10 years old, and my parents saw how much I loved horses, but they couldn't afford a horse. But occasionally they would actually allow me go and hire a horse from the local riding school, and I'd be so happy. I was on this horse, and I was riding the horse, and back then when I was very young, I'm not telling you my age or anything, but
Oh,
when I was very young, Collie, um, the horses weren't well kept. There wasn't.
right.
Today it's different with the RSPCA and everything else as well, but they weren't well kept. I didn't care. I was on a horse, and this man jumped out one day and he grabbed the bridle, and I was scared. And he stopped the horse and he said to me, "Take this note home to your father." And I went, "Oh, okay." So, and I was a very obedient child, because my parents were very strict. Like,
Right.
if we did something wrong, we got hit. No, it was different than today. It was just like,
Same
oh
here.
my God. You know what I mean, Colin? And then what happened there was, I took the note over to my father, and then he took me around to see this man the next day. And I thought that I was in trouble, because I was riding my horse across this footpath, and the hooves were chopping up the grass, kind of thing. And this
Oh,
man grabbed to me and he said to me, "Do you love horses?" And of course, my eyes lit up, as a 10-year-old child. He took me around behind his house. And at the back of his house, there was all these vines, and there was a stable there. And he opened the stable, and there was a white stallion, exactly the
oh,
same as what I dreamt. I know.
oh, oh my
Exactly
word.
the same. And he asked me to ride his stallion. So I was a 10-year-old girl riding stallion under saddle with other stallions. So it was
Wow.
amazing. But what it taught for me was the power of manifesting. And also, this man believed in me. It was the
Hmm.
first time I had someone who believed in my potential, who actually believed in me, because, I was the only girl, 10 years old, riding staying under saddle amongst all adults at Pony Club gymkhanas and things like that. It was amazing.
Oh my heart.
I
That
know. And, and,
that
and, and since then, I became a daydreamer. When I was a kid, I dreamed all the time. And today I call myself a visionary, as I still dream.
oh wow. That is just incredible. I mean, I It's just like you couldn't make it up. Do you know what I mean? It's just you could.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Of course, I got no pictures of that because my parents were very poor. We couldn't have cameras when I was
But
like,
you do have a picture because you created it, so you
I
have it
created it. It
in your
was amazing.
memory. That is amazing. Like, what a beautiful, beautiful manifestation. How powerful you are, girl.
Oh, no, but I've noticed I do that all the time. I even got to the start where I used to manifest when I was struggling in my business. Like, being in business is always up and downs and
Oh
things like
yeah, yeah,
and there was a time I was struggling in my business and I had to go and look at creating some sort of income on the side.
right.
And I was an external coach for this company, and I was doing a really good job. And I sat down and I had a conversation with my friend one day, and I said, I'm going to be invited to be a general manager of this company, and I'm going to stay for 2 years, save my money up again, and then come back into my business. And that company, within 6 months, invited me into full time as a general manager into their company.
Oh my word.
How about you? What are some of your stories, Collie, about manifesting?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, going back to, like you with regards to childhood, yeah, I was, my mom was very unwell when she was pregnant with me, and I was given up at birth. And then I was brought back to live with her when I was 6 years old. And in the transition period between 0 and 6, I fell in love with ice skating.
Oh, love
And,
ice cream.
and of course, it was outdoors. The rink was outdoor, but I had a pair of skates, and it was cold, very cold here. And I would go every day to escape. And my dad was an alcoholic, and my mom was basically a woman who, subservient, right? So I would go to the rink every opportunity, every day, every night I could, skate under the stars, whatever. And there was a gentleman there who was quite amazing. He would sweep the ice to make it clean,
Mhm.
and he called me Squeaky.
Oh, amazing! I was called Squeaky when I was in the Army Reserve.
Oh,
Um,
really?
but that, because I used to go and drink with the guys all night and my voice be squeaky the next day.
Yeah, he call me Squeaky, and it was really interesting because as years went by, my voice has been used a lot, in voiceovers and in coaching and, hypnosis and all kinds of things like that. But that was one thing. But the manifestation of the skating came through because my mom died when I was 14, and I moved out on my own at 15 because my dad's drinking. But I managed to get by and to continue doing what I loved, which was skate and all the other things. And I had a contract at the age of 18. I manifested. I wanted to travel, but I wanted to travel in style. And I didn't want to, when I say style, I didn't want to be on a bus
Mm,
52 weeks a year. But I
mm,
had a contract that came through with a company called the Ice Capades, which is a touring company that you can go, uh, they still exist, but not the same. They're more like in Vegas now, Cirque du Soleil and things like that. So I had that contract. So I manifested that. I manifested a contract to be part of the Ice Capades, but I turned it down in lieu of going with Air Canada, and I became a flight attendant at the time because there was my traveling in style, meaning I would work, be paid for it, and then when I was off work and I was in a hotel, I would be sleeping in a comfortable bed, and I could still go home and whatnot, as opposed to being on the bus for, 52 weeks a year. So that was a very powerful manifestation.
mm. It's just amazing, isn't it? But
Hmm.
it's amazing what we can do. I think it's that belief in yourself, and then as we're saying, being consciously. I mean, when I was 10 years old, I didn't know I was manifesting. I
No,
just knew
no.
that I created my dream. But as we get older, and like with 45 years experience between two of us,
Yeah,
personal development, we start to understand behavior, and we start, as coaches, that's what makes us unique is because
absolutely.
not only do we, work with, our clients on a technical level, a skill level, but we're able to work with them holistically. So
Yes.
we also look at their mindset as well as teach the latest strategic strategies or whatever, if they're in business or whatever, that as well. So it's important, I believe, to address both, because it doesn't matter what tool you're given or what strategy you're giving, if your approach is not aligned with success and you don't believe in what you're doing, you hold yourself back. And lots of times it's even done at an unconscious level.
Oh, yeah, it's what I do with people in my work is I take them through a process, and it's, if it's not working, they're sabotaging. So I work with the sabotage, where the sabotage
Mm,
is coming from. And when I work with people, it's, I do something called the logical levels of alignment. So in that environment with these skills and these capabilities and
mm,
these values and these
mm,
belief, then the belief level, right?
mm, mm.
Is this identity. But most
Yes.
people get stuck at the identity level and can't understand why they can't go beyond that. And it's because they don't go into the next realm, which is the transmission link. So if those
Mm.
things are all lined up, then you can't not be successful in no
That's
matter
right.
what. But if
Yeah.
your beliefs are off, or your values are off, or your skills are off, or your capabilities are off, or you haven't changed environment. For
Mm,
example, women perhaps, and I've been through this in relationship with a gentleman who, in fact, was not the best for me. It wasn't until I moved out of that environment that all that shifted for me, because that environment was holding me back,
mm,
because my beliefs and values and everything weren't aligned.
mm,
So when I
mm.
moved out of that environment, then things could line up again.
Yeah. It's so important for us to understand, I think, as well, that um, to protect our mind, it's very important to be aware of the environment that you put yourself in. The environment you put yourself with, and the people that you hang around with as
Ah,
well. You know,
absolutely.
it's such our mind. It's about, do we feed it health and a positive mindset, or are we just putting crap into it and wondering why we're not getting success in our business, or other areas of our life as well. Our
Absolutely.
mind is so important, and people, because you can't see your mind, you know we're not stopping and noticing what we're doing. And manifesting, I'm a really big manifester, and I believe that. So if someone wanted to look at manifesting from your perspective, Collie, what are some of the things they could do to develop the ability to actually manifest?
Making sure that all the what I just for me with my dream clients is
Yeah,
it's making sure those things are all aligned, because
yeah,
when there's not that alignment, you can't go through to the transmission link where the manifest happens, because something
yeah,
is pulling you off, right?
yeah,
So and then you spend so much time spinning wheels in that one area, and it's really not that it's challenging to get back on track, but anytime we get off track, if we don't have the support and we don't have the people that believe in us, and to continue to keep the mind, alive in the direction of which we want to direct to, it's a trajectory to go on, then we have to spend time back there doing the cleanup work again, right?
yeah,
So manifestation is really very real. It happens all the time, whether we believe it or not. And that's the key, starting there. Do we believe that you can manifest?
yeah. Excuse me there. And this is where I think self-reflection
Hmm.
and taking time and stopping, taking
Everything,
time and stopping.
absolutely. Everything happens in the pause.
Absolutely. And manifesting as well, like it goes into mindfulness and taking time out. Um, you don't have to be a yogi practitioner to be able to um, have mindfulness. It can be just walking along the river to actually have
Absolutely.
mindfulness as
As a
well.
matter of fact, that's some of the best moments. walking by the river, walking barefoot, hugging a tree. I mean, you
Yeah,
don't you don't have to sit, on a mountaintop for, 30 years and then
that's
all of
right.
a sudden you come down and your business is running smoothly.
Yeah. And the thing is too, when you're honest with yourself, you know when you need to take time out for yourself. You will feel that, those beliefs or that stress or whatever's in your body.
Yes,
If you're aware of that, then sometimes you need to stop, not keep on going and burning out and wondering why you're not getting the progress as well. So,
absolutely.
so tell me a little bit, because I know you've been in business about 25 years and I've been in business 20 years, so that's
Hmm.
a long time. What's the number one thing for you, Collie, that's, kept you going in your business? That's your, is there any specific thing that drives you and keeps you going in your business so that you are indeed the successful coach as you are today?
It's always tuning into my soul
Mm.
and to making
How do
sure
you do
that
that, Collie?
that
How do you tune into your soul?
it's it's become for me now after many years an inner knowingness when I'm again offline. I'm
Mm,
over here or I'm over here instead of there going down the path. And it's being real.
mm.
It's being real. It's so real that like my granddaughter, she turned 7 today, and
Yeah.
she said to me the other day, she said, Nana, you're looking pretty good without makeup these days. She
Isn't
said,
that beautiful?
you look different, but you're looking pretty good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with that in mind, I didn't go like, oh my God, what an insult. I went, it's acceptance and it's acknowledging that I am this age, that I have lived this much life, and that I have this passion to continue serving
Mm,
and to continue bringing out the best in people and to assisting them to be the excellence of which I really believe everyone is. It's just a matter of sometimes we get off track. And so even as 7-year-old with her, I am teaching her about manifesting. She's manifested a little gift today that she doesn't, she's the sweetest thing and she never asks and demands and she has no expectations of whatever, but she's going to get that gift because she has been wanting that gift now for 2 years. So she has worked for it. And it's not like from begging or from going, oh, my brother gets more than no, she has worked for it. And she really works on her. We work vision boards together. We read uplifting books. So even at that age, it's not too young to start. So it's my passion for service to people to raise them to their level of excellence and unique and bring that uniqueness out.
yeah, absolutely. That's just amazing. Lovely story. And I believe it's her birthday today
It
too.
is both of them, my grandson too. They were both born
Ever.
on the same day, 7 years apart. So,
Lovely.
and they will be arriving here in about 20 minutes.
Sure.
It's
Now,
awesome.
if people want to reach out to you, Collie, where
Mm.
can they find you?
Oh, well, Dr. Google. My website, it's just my name, Collie, Collie Cristanti, Collie K Cristanti. Just there,
Beautiful.
Facebook, through you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm
And
very
reach out to
approachable.
us. Yeah. Now, I'm also before we end up too, Collie. I've got some exciting news, and that's
Oh,
next week. I'm running a whole week called Coaching Week, and
oh,
I'm working with some amazing women. We've got about 30 or 40 people in my
oh,
private group now, and they're going to spend a whole week hanging out with me, and we're going to go through a step-by-step formula blueprint
oh,
of
wow.
teaching people how to actually start to create and attract their ideal client
Hmm.
into their business by email list building. So if anyone who's listening, you want some information about that, just reach out. I'll give you information about that. You jump on board and join our group as well.
Oh,
But
what
it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, Collie,
oh, thank you
today.
so much. I feel so honored. I for everyone listening, you know, you're in the best hands with Lee. It's just an incredible, integral, ethical woman who walks her talk and is just a joy.
Oh,
Absolute
thank you.
joy, and I'm honored to be here with you, and I wish everyone so much love and so much peace and so much success. So
Oh,
I know they will get it when they are with you. So
oh,
that's
thank
good.
you so much, Collie. And you know what? And it's been a pleasure having this conversation with you. And
Absolutely.
again, you inspire me, and you're
Oh,
amazing as well. And it's just, I think in business, it's so nice to have collaboration and have
oh,
people there that you can. If I'm having a hard day, I know I can reach out to you, and you can reach out to me.
absolutely. And that's
Any
what it's all about. I mean, we came together because we came
yeah.
together. We manifested one another through various means and programs, and what an honor, and that's available to everyone,
Absolutely. So
right?
don't go it alone. Don't go at alone as an entrepreneur. Make sure you put yourself in support groups, everything else.
Mhm.
Look after your mind. Keep yourself moving forward. And I wish everyone all the success who's watching. And again, thank you so much, Collie,
Oh, thank you,
for,
and much
for
love
being
to
here.
everyone. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.